The silent strength in an age of noise. We live in an age of relentless noise. Opinions are shouted, emotions are broadcast, validation is chased, and identity is often shaped by external approval rather than inner conviction. In such a world, silence feels rare. Emotional stability feels rare. Quiet strength feels rare. Perhaps rarest of all is the Stoic female mindset. This is not about suppressing femininity. It is not about becoming cold, distant, or emotionally unavailable. It is about something far more powerful: emotional sovereignty. The ability to feel deeply yet not be ruled by feeling. The ability to care yet not cling. To lead, nurture, love, build, and endure without surrendering inner stability. Stoicism, a philosophy founded in ancient Greece and later practiced in Rome, was never about becoming emotionless. Philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus taught something far more profound: control what you can, accept what you cannot, cultivate virtue above everything else. Though these teachings are often framed through male historical figures, the principles themselves are universal, and when embodied by a woman in today's world, they become exceptionally powerful. The Stoic female mindset represents emotional maturity in a culture that often rewards emotional reactivity. It represents depth in a culture of surface-level attention, represents calm in chaos, discipline in distraction, and quiet confidence in a world obsessed with display. Imagine a woman who does not compete for attention, yet commands respect, who does not chase validation, yet receives admiration, who does not raise her voice, yet influences those around her. This mindset does not seek to dominate the world through aggression. It influences the world through composure. Historically, Stoicism emphasized 4 core virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. These virtues are not masculine or feminine, they are human. When these virtues shape the identity of a woman in a society that constantly pressures her to react, compare, perform, and please, something extraordinary happens. She becomes rare. In this documentary, we will explore 10 deep lessons that define the Stoic female mindset. We will examine historical philosophy, modern psychology, everyday application. We will explore how a woman can cultivate internal power without sacrificing warmth. How she can maintain grace without becoming passive. How she can navigate relationships, career, adversity, and identity without losing herself in the noise. Because in a world that is loud, the calm mind is magnetic, and the Stoic female mindset may be one of the rarest strengths of our time. Lesson 1: emotional mastery, feeling deeply without losing control. The first and perhaps most defining characteristic of the Stoic female mindset is emotional mastery. Emotional mastery does not mean emotional suppression. Stoicism never demanded the elimination of feeling. Instead, it emphasized the management of reaction. Epictetus taught that it is not events that disturb us, our judgments about them. This principle is especially powerful in today's emotionally charged world. A Stoic woman understands that her emotions are signals, not commanders. Consider Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor who ruled during wars, plagues, and political betrayal. In his private writings, later compiled as meditations, he constantly reminded himself to pause before reacting. He acknowledged anger, frustration, grief, but refused to be ruled by them. This same principle applies deeply to modern life. In relationships, emotional reactivity often leads to escalation. A harsh word triggers defensiveness. Silence triggers insecurity. A delayed reply triggers assumption. But a Stoic woman pauses. She observes her emotional response before expressing it. She asks herself, is this reaction aligned with my values? Is this situation within my control? This pause is power. Modern psychology supports this idea. Emotional regulation, the ability to manage one's emotional state, is strongly correlated with long-term relationship stability, career success, and mental health. Many people mistake emotional intensity for emotional authenticity. Stoicism offers a different perspective. Authenticity does not require impulsivity. Imagine a workplace scenario. A colleague criticizes your work publicly. The immediate impulse may be embarrassment or anger. A reactive response could damage professional credibility. But a Stoic female mindset processes internally first. She separates ego from evaluation. She extracts useful feedback and discards unnecessary insult. This is strength, not silence out of fear, but restraint out of choice. Seneca once wrote extensively about anger, describing it as a temporary madness. He argued that anger clouds judgment and weakens decision-making. For a woman in leadership, entrepreneurship, or partnership, clarity is far more valuable than momentary emotional discharge. Actionable application. Practice the pause rule. Before responding in emotionally charged situations, wait 10 seconds. Journal emotional triggers to identify patterns. Ask, is this in my control? If not, release it. Replace reaction with deliberate response. Emotional mastery does not make a woman cold. It makes her grounded. And in a world addicted to reaction, grounded presence is rare. Lesson 2000: Detachment from validation, freedom from external approval. One of the most powerful lessons of the Stoic female mindset is detachment from external validation. In a noisy world obsessed with likes, comments, recognition, and comparison, the ability to anchor self-worth internally is rare. Stoicism teaches that true power comes not from the praise of others, but from self-mastery. Epictetus reminds us that we should care only about what is within our control. Our thoughts, our actions, our character, these are ours to govern. Approval from others is not. When a woman relies on external validation, she is surrendering her power to forces outside her control. The Stoic female mindset rejects this trap. Historically, even male Stoics understood this. Seneca emphasized that the wise person seeks neither praise nor blame, only virtue. Marcus Aurelius, despite being emperor, continually reminded himself to remain indifferent to flattery. The principle is universal when recognition is sought externally. Satisfaction is fleeting. When it comes from integrity, it is unshakable. In modern life, detachment from validation is transformative. Social media amplifies comparison, creating anxiety, insecurity, and emotional fatigue. A woman who cultivates internal validation measures her worth by her effort, her alignment with her values, and her ability to act rightly by applause or approval. She sets boundaries without guilt and remains grounded even when ignored or criticized. Real-life application is simple but profound. Before seeking approval or feedback, ask, does this matter to my values or my mission? Shift focus from, how will they perceive me? To, am I acting with integrity? By doing so, she builds confidence rooted in authenticity rather than external affirmation. Actionable insights, daily reflection. 3 actions aligned with your values regardless of recognition. Limit social media comparison to 15 minutes daily. Practice saying no without justification. Refusal itself is a validation of self-priority. By detaching from validation, a Stoic woman achieves freedom. She becomes less reactive, more intentional, and increasingly magnetic, because independence of mind is rare and deeply respected. Lesson 30: Silent confidence. The power of calm presence. Confidence is often misunderstood. World equates it with loudness, assertiveness, or overt dominance. But the Stoic female mindset embodies silent confidence, a quiet, unshakable assurance that does not need to prove itself. Marcus Aurelius practiced self-reflection daily, reminding himself that his worth came from virtue, not display. Similarly, a Stoic woman projects strength not through noise, but through presence. Her calmness, composure, and clarity communicate mastery more than any words ever could. Silent confidence manifests in subtle ways, maintaining composure during confrontation, listening more than speaking, making decisions deliberately rather than impulsively. It signals security without arrogance and authority without aggression. Modern applications abound. In professional settings, a woman who does not over-explain, who maintains composure in meetings, or who calmly addresses criticism often commands respect instantly. personal relationships, silent confidence creates attraction and influence without manipulation. Real-life examples: consider leaders like Ruth Bader Ginsburg or Angela Merkel. Their influence stemmed not from theatrical displays but from steady competence, clarity, and quiet determination. Embodied principles of Stoic calmness applied in high-pressure environments. Actionable insights: practice pausing before speaking. Let calmness define your words. Maintain posture, eye contact, and deliberate tone to convey composure. Focus on preparation and competence. The quiet assurance of knowledge is magnetic. Confidence allows a woman to navigate life with grace, avoiding drama while inspiring respect, a rarity in a world driven by chaos and noise. Lesson 4. The power of discipline, mastery over self. Discipline is the backbone of the Stoic female mindset. Stoicism teaches that external circumstances are uncontrollable. Self-control is always within reach. Discipline cultivates independence, resilience, and long-term fulfillment. Epictetus emphasized that freedom is the mastery of oneself. For a Stoic woman, discipline is not punishment but liberation. It manifests as consistent routines, healthy habits, emotional regulation, and intellectual growth. Historical examples abound. Marcus Aurelius maintained daily journaling, reflection, and philosophical study despite the pressures of ruling an empire. Similarly, Seneca emphasized that the wise person must train the mind and body daily to resist temptation, distraction, and vice. Modern applications include time management, focus. A woman disciplined in her routines avoids reactive behavior. She prioritizes high-value actions, maintains energy, and does not surrender to fleeting desires or societal pressure. Discipline creates space for serenity, effectiveness, and strategic influence. Real-life scenario: a woman juggling work, family, and personal goals develops disciplined habits, early wake-up routines, scheduled reflection, consistent learning, or mindful exercise. These seemingly small practices compound over months, creating composure, influence, and confidence. Actionable insights: morning and evening routines to center mind and body. Daily micro goals aligned with long-term objectives. Track progress and reflect on improvements without judgment. Discipline is freedom in disguise. By mastering self, Stoic woman achieves stability, influence, and inner peace. Lesson 50. Selective energy. Choose where to invest attention. Stoic woman understands the finite nature of energy. Time, focus, and emotional bandwidth are limited. Therefore, investing energy selectively is crucial for serenity and influence. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the importance of prioritizing meaningful action over trivial distractions. Seneca also reminded readers that life is short and should not be squandered on unworthy pursuits. This principle is especially vital in the modern age of constant stimulation. Selective energy means discerning which relationships, tasks, and interactions merit engagement. Gossip, petty conflict, social comparison, and reactive arguments are energy drains. By consciously choosing where to focus, a Stoic woman preserves calm, productivity, and clarity. Modern applications include career strategy, social dynamics, and personal relationships. Avoiding toxic people, focusing on high-value goals, saying no strategically cultivates respect and prevents burnout. Energy conservation allows consistent action aligned with purpose. Real-life example: professional woman declines unnecessary meetings, limits exposure to negative online spaces, and focuses on mentorship, learning, and personal growth. She is neither selfish nor detached, but intentional. Actionable insights: audit daily energy expenditure, identify drains. Practice saying no without over-explanation. Schedule time for reflection and focus to recharge and prioritize. Selective energy ensures a Stoic woman thrives without depletion, making her presence, influence, and decisions more impactful. Lesson 60. Grace under pressure, calm in chaos. Life is unpredictable. Crises, criticism, setbacks, and conflicts are inevitable. The Stoic female mindset thrives in chaos because it cultivates grace under pressure. Marcus Aurelius faced wars, political betrayal, and plague, yet he maintained mental stability through daily reflection. Similarly, a Stoic woman develops composure that becomes a beacon for others in challenging times. Grace under pressure involves emotional regulation, foresight, and a focus on actionable solutions. Reacting impulsively compromises influence, responding deliberately preserves integrity. This is particularly critical in professional environments, leadership roles, and high-stakes personal scenarios. Modern examples: a woman negotiating conflict in a team setting maintains calm, listens carefully, and delivers measured responses. In personal crises, she navigates challenges without panic, modeling resilience for others. Actionable insights use controlled breathing or mindfulness to center during high-stress problems into actionable steps rather than reacting emotionally. Visualize desired outcomes and maintain focus on solutions. Grace under pressure signals rare inner strength, inspiring trust, respect, and admiration. Lesson 7: High standards without bitterness. Expecting excellence calmly, Stoic woman holds herself and others to high standards without resentment or bitterness. Stoicism teaches that virtue, not opinion, is the true measure of value. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself to act according to principle, regardless of others' behavior. In modern life, maintaining high standards often leads to frustration. People disappoint, systems fail, and chaos disrupts plans. The Stoic approach set expectations for personal conduct, accept that others operate according to their nature. Bitterness is optional, integrity is not. Real-life applications: a manager insists on quality without micromanaging, maintains standards without controlling others, a parent models excellence without coercion. Actionable insights: define your non-negotiables in work, relationships, personal conduct. Practice acceptance of others' limitations without judgment. Focus on influence through example, not force. This balance creates respect, influence, peace, rare in an impatient world. Lesson 80: The strength of solitude, power in reflection. Stoicism values solitude as a tool for reflection, clarity, emotional renewal. Marcus Aurelius retreated daily to his thoughts, meditating on virtue, mortality, and purpose. Epictetus emphasized introspection as central to self-mastery. A Stoic woman leverages solitude to recharge, plan, and understand herself deeply. In solitude, she separates external noise from internal truth, strengthens decision-making, and develops independence. Modern life is crowded with distractions. Phones, social media, social obligations, and constant communication fragment attention. Purposeful solitude allows a woman to reconnect with values, set intentions, and maintain composure. Actionable insights: C. Dedicate 20-30 minutes daily to quiet reflection or journaling. Embrace solitude for strategic thinking and emotional regulation. Disconnect periodically from digital distractions to preserve mental clarity. Solitude transforms introspection into influence and peace. It is the hidden reservoir of a Stoic woman's power. Lesson 9: Boundaries without guilt. Protecting inner space. Boundaries are essential. A Stoic woman understands that maintaining personal limits is not selfish, it is self-respect. Seneca wrote that we should choose associations carefully, protecting mental and emotional energy. Setting boundaries involves saying no, delegating, and refusing to overextend. Doing so without guilt or defensiveness signals self-awareness, confidence, and calm. It prevents resentment, overload, and emotional depletion. Modern applications: refusing overwork, avoiding toxic relationships, or disengaging from gossip preserves focus. Real-life examples: a woman turns down unnecessary commitments at work to focus on strategic projects. She politely declines social events that drain energy. Actionable insights: identify areas of life where boundaries are weak. Practice asserting limits calmly and consistently. Recognize that preserving energy enhances influence, diminishes relationships. Boundaries without guilt protect the Stoic woman's mental fortress while allowing generosity on her own terms. Lesson 10: living by virtue, not approval, the final principle. The Stoic female mindset culminates in living by virtue, not seeking approval. Virtue, wisdom, courage, justice, temperance, is the internal compass. Approval is external and fleeting. Stoicism teaches that alignment with principle, rather than popular opinion, produces enduring influence and serenity. Marcus Aurelius consistently reflected, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be." This principle applies fully to the Stoic woman. Focus on character, action, and integrity. When decisions stem from virtue, confidence and calm naturally follow. Modern applications: career integrity, authentic relationships, and ethical decision-making may not earn universal praise. They secure long-term respect and self-satisfaction. Real-life example: a professional woman refuses shortcuts for personal gain, choosing ethical paths even if unpopular. Her influence is quiet, profound, and sustainable. Actionable insight: C. Daily reflection on alignment with core virtues. Evaluate decisions through the lens of character, popularity. Act with courage and integrity, even when unseen or unappreciated. Living by virtue rather than approval makes the Stoic female mindset rare, unshakable, magnetic, a lighthouse in a world of fleeting validation. Conclusion: the rarest personality in a noisy world. The Stoic female mindset is a paradox: gentle yet strong, yet influential, compassionate yet disciplined. By mastering emotions, detaching from validation, cultivating silent confidence, and living by virtue, a woman navigates life with clarity and impact. Historical examples, from Marcus Aurelius to Seneca, reinforce these lessons. Modern application shows their relevance. Real-life practice makes them transformative. In a noisy world of distraction, reactivity, and constant demand, embodying this mindset is rare and remarkable. Emotional mastery, discipline, strategic energy investment, grace under pressure, solitude, boundaries, and virtue together form a personality that commands respect naturally, influences subtly, and lives peacefully. The Stoic female mindset is not just a philosophy. It is a daily practice, a lived discipline, and a path to self-mastery. In embracing these principles, women today can become unshakable, magnetic, and profoundly impactful, rare personalities in an era of noise.